for walking today. Like we said, well, we got babies on the walk. Yes. I want to thank you guys for walking today. You know, it's a big deal to do the small things. It's a big deal to show up and to start. You know, like we said last year, we were doing this walk and it was not as lovely as it is today. So cheers to the weather on the walk today. But you know what? It didn't stop us when we were walking last year here in Homestead, Pittsburgh, whatever we're going to call it. This area, hilly area. You know, the decision to do the walks last year, to start the process was, we initially used what we had available to us and put the song Great Divide out, and told you guys a little bit about the AIDS Research Hospital in Soweto, and a lot of people bought that song and raised money with buying that a song download. But what we wanted to make sure you guys realized, and what we wanted to connect with as many people as possible on, was how we as individuals all have tangible things that are needed, especially by children that are struggling with extreme poverty and struggling with disease, born into families and communities where AIDS is rampant. And, you know, we all feel like there's not, we don't have enough good things to use, like we don't have enough resources. But the truth is, you know, there's so many tangible things that you already have, that you don't have to amass, that you don't have to create, that are available to you, that would literally change the life of somebody living in an impoverished community, that it's kind of staggering. And that's why we decided to try and talk about shoes initially, was because shoes is one of the most basic things that we don't really, think about as a privilege. But in fact, even a pair of shoes, one of those basic things, becomes unavailable to kids that are growing up in impoverished communities in Africa. I want to talk about Africa for just 1 second. There are a lot of challenges in our own communities. Every community in this country could use good people saying, hey, I can do a little bit in my town, and you guys should. But what we're talking about is, sometimes it takes a jolt to the system to realize that we've got to rise to the occasion to things that are, maybe the greatest challenges of our whole lifetime, to realize that we really can do things in our own community. What's going on in Africa is really a challenge for our generation. AIDS specifically is orphaning 6,000 kids every day. So you've got parents dying, leaving thousands of kids every day. You've got millions of kids that are born into a world now where disease and AIDS is going to give them a death sentence. They get 2 or 3 years to live if they don't get treatment for AIDS, if they're born with a disease. So we have this challenge for us as a generation. Well, when we know that there are things that we can provide, starting with facing poverty and AIDS at the same time, we know that there's things we can provide, like a pair of shoes, like a single dollar from this one walk, which will make it possible to give a couple days of life to a pregnant mother that needs a 33-cent drug to prevent passing on HIV to her unborn children, to her unborn child. When we know that there's real things that we can do without inconveniencing ourselves, or without it becoming about us stopping other things that we're doing to do good works. When we know that that's possible, will we do it? And the challenge of the walks is not about how we're going to feel guilty. The challenge is whether we're going to look at the opportunity that we have and become a great group of people and do simple things, do tangible things. So the walk literally is about what you guys are going to do to tell us that you have better ideas, that you have better things that you're going to bring to the table over time. It starts with a walk. We want the walk to be the beginning. We want the walk to be the first thing that you do. We don't want this to be, oh yeah, we did that thing with Hanson, oh, it was kind of cool, and we got our feet dirty, and we did that one walk, and it wasn't raining, thank God. We want this to be just a moment where we thought just a little bit about what we can do to make a difference. And the challenge that's in Africa, I don't want to pass that to my children. I don't want my children to look at what's going on there and realize that now you're going to have a whole continent of people that will have grown up, if they've survived, will have grown up without families and without support. And there's so many challenges that one person at a time we can look at to make a difference. And so if nothing else, when you guys come to do the walk, you need to realize that this isn't about how Hanson has this idea and they want to encourage encourage you to do something that we've told you about. We want to spark in you just a simple kernel that says, what if we all looked at what we already have and what we already do and the things that we already have access to and found a way to voluntarily put a little bit of that to work for those that need resources, that have needs. And the challenge in Africa, that's our generation's challenge, regardless of whether we see it every day. Ironically, we didn't realize that our hometown in Tulsa was one of the worst hit areas in this country with AIDS until we went across to Africa. What a weird irony. So, when you guys are doing the walk today, this is a walk about action. This is a walk that's about you guys that are coming. It's not about the people that are in that apartment right now wondering why we're talking in the megaphone. This is about you guys coming. And also, I want to thank you guys that did walk before with us last year. How many people walked last year when we were here in Pittsburgh? Okay. I want to thank you guys for coming a second time, and for those that might have walked with us multiple times. It's hard to show up. It's hard to start. The walk is about starting. It's about taking action. It's about doing something real. And you guys are doing that today. So thank you so much for walking. It's an awesome group today. We're gonna loop down and we're gonna come back to the front of the venue. Every mile on this tour is literally about the mile itself. It's about the walk. It's about this journey, this little quick jaunt that we're taking. You guys that are here today, when we finish, you can register your walk. And you need to put your name down and say, I took the walk today. And you're going to decide how you want your mile to count. Okay, you can say, you know what, I love the idea of giving shoes, so I'm going to give the $1 that we're going to donate on your behalf for this walk. You're going to decide whether you want it to go to provide a pair of shoes, if you want to go to help drill a clean water well, if you want to go to help build a school, if you want to help make sure that there's medicine for HIV-positive moms, or if you want to make sure that you can provide access to doctors that are needed to maintain that treatment for those young women. You can say, okay, that's how I'm going to make my mile count. And so we want that to be your decision. But you need to make sure you put your mile down or it will not be counted, and we won't know that you walked today. And I want to make sure that everybody knows that you guys took the walk today. So, we got about half a mile to go. What do you guys say we finish this mile? Everybody say, I took the walk! I took the walk! Damn right! Okay, let's do this. Yeah.